Now the objective is to create a website from the front end. So to create a website from the front end, we need to have a website ready to use. We will have a look on that, and also propose to use different layout for the creation from the front end. We'll show you here the layout menu. We have pre-installed few layout, but if you want to install a new one, for example, we have a layout for Virtumart version 2 to allow processing billable website from the front end. We can upload the package, and we have a special rendering using Virtumart for the website creation. So you can see that the layout is installed, and now you have an additional layout present. These different elements will be used in the GMS multi-site menu, because when we will create a menu, we will select a website from the front end. So let's suppose that we want to create a menu here using GMS multi-site front end. We can create a new menu and select, for example, the creation of a single website, or in case where we use a bulk layout, possibility to create multiple websites in one shot. So here we put here a menu, create a site, and we can select the different look or layout that we have installed in our system. So if we want to create a basic or a default one, we can use this one, but if we want more for sophisticated one, we can use other one. So we will start to create a very basic one. For example, use a black that is proposed in the system. Here we have plenty of parameters that depending on what we want to display in the front end. So when we have a list, we have delete, edit, new buttons that are present. But when we want to create a website from the front end, we need to select from the GMS template rule which one we want to use. So we will see that we can filter the GMS template rule based on something. So here, for example, we will use the, I would say, a word or a filtering value that we will call front end, and put here create a website. You have plenty of parameters that you can select. Create website also for anonymous. If you want to create a demo website or something limited in few days, we will see that you can do that. By default, you can create I would say free website. If you want to create billable website and process the payment, ordering, and so on, for example, using our bridge for Virtumart, you can use billable website enabled, and in this case the layout for Virtumart 2 can be helpful to help you provide a single interface for that. You can also execute specific script when you are enabled. In case of error, you can redirect on a specific web page, so you can have on success or on error web parameters. If you want additional elements, you can also decide which fields that are present in the front end. The front end limits the number of parameters, so you can decide to enable or hide these parameters. And when you decide to create or assign a specific login and password for the back end, you have also the possibility to send automatically an email to the user. So here it's a very basic rule we keep all by default. It's just to let you know that we have plenty of parameters. So if we save this menu item, we can have already something present in our master website, but we will not see anything because we didn't create any rule for the creation from the front end, and this is what we will see now. So now we will create the rule to create website from the front end. So the idea is to use, for example, the slave1 website to replicate the website and create a rule to create it from the front end. So I will use a rule that is more or less like the replica master here, and I will create in for example subdirectory, if you want to have that in a subdirectory. So let's suppose that I want to create a rule that is more or less like this one. So the idea is to select an input of the copy machine to create a rule that will build, for example, I will call it front-end package 1. That will be the website. You remember that we have entered in the menu a parameter to filter the things. So here I will provide the same keyword that I had in previous case and enter the group. I can create a rule that will be package 01, that will be a title display somewhere in the front end. And here you can put here enter the package 01 description. So we will use site URL, site ID to deploy the website. So we will use master demo and a subdirectory of this one, for example, here. So this is what we will do to simplify the thing. So the parameters are in fact the root of my website site ID. The directory must be created dynamically, and the database will be here the site ID. But the site ID can be computed based on something from the front end, and here I will use a rule that will be, for example, FE front end site prefix. That will be the name or the value of the site ID computed based on what we have in the front end, or I can call it front end P1 for package 1, for example, to identify my content. If you have a large number of websites that you want to create, it's recommended to use different DBs, but here for the demo we will use the same DB, same password, same everything to create the role. When you want to create website from the front end, you can select which user you would like to use as administrator, and then can be replaced by the front end. If you don't select anything, that will be the default administrator that will be used. So here we have the master. If we want to replicate the slave1, here we will use, for example, this superadmin, but we can create another user again to do the role. So this is what we will do. We have a rule to do that. So we have defined in input of our, I will say, copy machine, which website we will read, and the target to the new place where to store the new website, in which directory, and the directory must match the location that you have specified in the URL. So once the rule is created, we can use it. So if we go in the front end, we will need to potentially log in, because here it's a rule to create a website with logit user. So now you have your menu that is present, and you need to log in to create your first website from the front end. So here I will log in as administrator. I didn't create it a basic user, but when you have a normal user, you can do it also from a normal user. So you log in. And now that you are logged in, you can access the create site, where you can find the famous package 1 with its description that we created previously. We have here provided all the parameters, so these parameters are all the ones that you have in the layout definition, so when you have created the menu. So if you go back in your menu, create site, and when you have a look in the menu, you can review the advanced parameter, and it's here that you have defined template description. For example, if you don't want to see the alias field, you can hide the parameter. If you don't want to provide the possibility to change the password, you can remove parameters. So, for example, if we save the parameter and we go back here, you see that the parameters are removed. So when we want to create our website, we just have to provide here demo01 content, and this is my first demo website. You create, and automatically the website is created, and the website is deployed. Here we do not display the list of the website, so you have also the menu with the list of slave sign. But if we have a look in the back end of GMS, you can find that you have here a website that is identified like that, that has the site ID that is computed here, and here, okay, the website created is in a subdirectory, and is a copy of the template slave 1. If you have a look, you have a website that is created in a subdirectory based on the rules that we have defined. So we just have to adjust. If you want to create a website with different templates, with different look, you can prepare rules for your different look or rendering, and you can decide that you have a website with a look 1, a website with a look 2, or things like that. Or if you have multiple in the same, you can select different templates or default templates that you want to render. So it's here that you decide from which website you replicate the content and the new database. So if you prepare different website with different look, up to you. And if you want to have different template look, you can also change that. But you have to create as many rules or as many template rules than you have a website. Okay, so now you see how to create a website from the front end. In case where you want to have billable website, This is in the menu that we do that. I remember billable website is here, and to process the payment you can set up here the parameter, and with an additional plugin it can process automatically the information and create a bridge with VirtualMod. This is what we will see with another environment that we will show you. Thank you for your attention.